Hey there, in this video I have just put together some very quick and easy to make shutters from XPS foam. I did this because I had a lot of very small windows to make and I was struggling, really struggling, so I thought, what do? You hide them. And that's what I did. I was able to make a lot of the shutters open, but it also disguised that there's no window frames, because on this scale, if you're like me and you're a shonky builder and you don't have a lot of tools at hand, detail and scale can be a very tricky thing. So use your strengths and then just be completely deceptive and hide what you can't really nail. So that's my contribution to this one, and I hope you get something out of it, and I hope you enjoy the video. I'm using a scrap of XPS foam and these little templates that I made from some jumbo popsicle sticks, and I just jammed a pin through each one pretty carefully so I didn't split the wood, and I made them the length that I wanted them for the shutters and put them as carefully as I could to the straightest corner I could place them on, and just make them parallel from each other either side, just to make a whole piece that I can turn into little slices for each shutter later. Just in my hot wire, I'm roughly cutting around it, but it works really nice and neatly. And if you find you have trouble with it using my method, just give it a little bit of a sand when you're done and it'll be lovely and tidy. Just neaten it up a little bit, and this should probably make about 10 or 12 shutters, so yeah, it's a nice quick way to do it. I'm going to use my hot wire now on the lowest setting. I have no other way of doing this, so I just sit it down. If I want it higher, I'd put little feet under it, but I'll put it on as low as I can get it and just slide this across the wire. It's about a millimetre off the table there, and it works really well for slicing very fine, thin pieces of XPS foam. And there you have the little shutters ready to draw on. I'm very lightly going over this the first time, so I'm just making a very, very gentle impression. So if I make a mistake, it's not going to veer off and ruin the piece that I'm trying to draw up. I'm just going around doing the edging of the shutter. And I'll draw in the each individual piece. I don't know the anatomy of a shutter. I don't even think we have them in Australia. I don't know. But I'll just draw in the lines. This is such a simple thing to do, but it works pretty well. And these are pretty quick to make. I'm going to eyeball it for top and bottom, for what I think is the centre down the middle, so I can divide it. Just make this one look like it's a closed one by leaving a line down the centre, or you can cut them in half and have them open. And just keep redoing it until it's a deep enough impression. And that's how you make them. Besides from painting them, that's how quick and easy they are. I've got a whole pile of these. There's only a very few that I made. I made quite a lot, and I just dropped them into a little container of a black, brown, grey wash, acrylic, of course, and then just give them a soak. I actually did darken this a bit. I put a bit more black in it because when I pulled them out like this, they just weren't quite dark enough. So I gave a bit of a squeeze of black acrylic and gave them another shake after I did this. You can see how much darker they are. They come out nice and quite a dark brown. That's all my shadow done. And just this, it's a creamy white, maybe kind of a light grey, somewhere in between. And then I dry brushed. This is a heavy dry brush. It's basically just a coat of paint more than a dry brush to bring out detail. Once I've done that, I just get a paint pen. These are also acrylic, And then this is a cream coloured one. I just want to go around the edge to try and make some sort of contrast. I don't want just everything the same colour. I mean, you could do this in any colour, but I would very much try and steer towards natural colours because they're going to stand out. Unless you're making a building that's meant to look brand new, try and go natural. I put these on and I'm not happy with how they look. They look kind of flat and almost a little two-dimensional. So I'm going to start pinpointing shadows with this really fine pen, which also would be acrylic. I don't know if they make these in a fuel-based version, but make sure it's acrylic. And then just from the outside inwards, just pull the pen and then run it around the edge as well. You can see right there how much shadow that's already giving the illusion of. It's making it look far more, even though it is a three-dimensional object, it didn't have the look of being three-dimensional. So I am emphasizing it with this pen. I'm going to show you on a piece of paper how I did it. I just apply pressure, fairly light, and then just flick it away like that. It's just a drawing technique that you use for shadow. And then just pull it away, almost like a tick. You flick it, and that will do it for you. A line down the center as well. Just want to add more definition as much as I can get. You can see how tiny the nib of this pen is. It's like a pinpoint. Also good for redefining the actual grooves in the shutters as well. But it gives a really good effect. It would have been easier to do these before I'd glued them onto the building, but it's never too late. You can see the difference. It's a great difference. And that wash that I soaked them in previously, just a little bit to add even more shadow, a bit of grime, just to kind of, incorporate it into the actual building so it's not just something sticking out off it. I want things to blend in seamlessly so they look all meshed together. And you can see the massive difference from the one on the left to the one on the right. It's these little things when you are making something so simple that make it look a lot more complicated than it really is and makes it work. That's it for this. I know it was a quick video, but I had to knock something out because I've been out of action for a few weeks. But this came out good. They took a lot of tedium out of, I had so many windows to do. I actually covered a lot up because I just could not be stuffed making so many windows. So yeah, I hit them. And it looks pretty good. I hope that you got something out of this, and I hope to see you next time.